photograph in which we were in love, caught in your eyes, waiting for the sunrise. I barely even knew who you were. What did you do? I didn't care, 'cause you were perfect, I swear. But somebody told me that it's over. Oh no, it's true. You made me happy for a while.
Hello everybody. A little sunny out today, which is nice because we are fixing to get some freezing weather for about 4 days. Not tomorrow, starting Thursday. I want to say today is Friday, so later on next week. And we had planned on starting our spring seeds inside our greenhouse before this, so we're going to have to start. We have a big heating mat that we're going to put in our greenhouse for our seed starts. Make sure they don't get too cold over the cold days we have next week. So today what I'm going to be doing is making bulk soil for seed starting, and I want to share with y'all what we're going to be doing. Now this is going to be a bulk version, but of course you can take the ratios and miniaturize it if you want. This is just, we use a whole bunch, so might as well make it in bulk, plus we can store it for a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these things that we're going to be putting into the soil, and then I'll kind of tell y'all what they're for, and then we'll go ahead and mix. So let's start with the vermiculite. So this is the vermiculite we got. It is 2 cubic feet of vermiculite, and this is what it looks like. Here. This is what it looks like. Grainy, soft, very, very light, if y'all can see it floating. And we have, and we're putting that in there because it helps aerate the soil, and it's very fine grain, so it's good for seed starting, and it promotes faster seed germination, which is nice. And we're not going to use a whole bunch of that, but I will show you all that in a little when we add it. This is perlite. It's those little annoying floaty white, I can't remember what it's actually made of. I'll put it up there in a minute on the screen. And this actually helps promote strong root development, and it does this because it doesn't really have any nutrient value, but it's very loose, and a lot of people actually start cuttings in it. So it's really good for root formation, and it helps aerate the soil just like the vermiculite does, although the vermiculite has some nutritional value to it. Actually, it's pretty good, honestly. So we're going to do some of that, and then we have this sphagnum peat moss, and then that is 3 cubic foot. That one will actually break up a lot, so this will expand to probably 3 times the size of this. I'll show you how much we use in just a minute. Peat moss is really good because it helps with water retention. It also will cut down on your watering. You only have to water about half the time as if you were to use just regular soil. And it helps create like a almost spongy texture to your soil, gives it a little give, and it's really good for your seed starting mix. Another thing we're going to put in there is this Job's Organics bone meal. And I really like this because of how much phosphorus you get, which is good for rooting. Plus, this is an organic product. Just so y'all can see what the back says. And we're not going to put a whole bunch in there, but I do want to get some in there for the mix. Last two things we're going to put in there. This is composted horse manure and wood chips. And if you see here, it's really pretty. It doesn't smell. I know a lot of people say compost smells, but once it's actually composted, it really doesn't. And then we're going to mix this in there as well. The last thing we're mixing in is some of our native soil. This is actually soil from, this is topsoil that was scraped off of our field probably 15 years ago. And it had a bunch of trees decomposing in it. If you see there, it looks really nice. I really like this stuff. And we've just been slowly working on it for the past year, getting it cleared. Anyways, so what I did first is I kind of took my shovel and I broke up a lot of these bigger chunks. If it's not going to break up, then I just toss it. You know, you want this as fine as possible. That's one of the key things to starting seeds, is you want really soft, broken up soil. If you have to, you can always take some like wire mesh and kind of like strain it, which always helps. I just kind of came in with the shovel and been breaking things up with hand. And this is all just the native soil with that little bit of the vermiculite I dropped in here for y'all. So a lot of times what people will do when making soil for seed starting is if they use their, whoa, sorry, dropped y'all. If they use their native soil, a lot of times what people will do is they'll bake it. And I want to say you do it for like 30 minutes at 300 or around that. And what that'll do is it'll kill all the weeds that are in the soil. So we didn't do that. You don't have to. Just expect more weeds in it. Now, I'm not saying there's going to be a crazy amount or anything, but there will be more if you don't heat it. So I definitely recommend heating it. We just aren't going to do that today. So the first thing I'm going to mix in is this compost. If you saw, this is I want to say 3-gallon bucket, and it was about half full, half to 3/4 full. And for y'all's measurement sake, I'm going to use this pot. Let's see. It doesn't say how big it is, but you can see it. I'm going to do this is just to help it from blowing away while I grab more. Oh, get that out of there. It's too big. I'll go ahead and do 1 to 2 more. See what it looks like. Now remember, this is just the native soil that's in here so far. Get it thoroughly mixed. And then we'll evaluate. Okay. You'll see how that looks. See all those little white spots? That is the vermiculite. That looks really good. We might add a little more depending on how much it looks like we have. Let me go ahead and get this open. This stuff is annoying. This is one of the main reasons I recommend doing this outside. Trust me. Get that mixed in. I do think we will need some more. Big old chunk of wood. This is what I meant by it was decomposing. I can just shred it. And it's wood. That one's too big. What do y'all think so far of this soil? Let me know in the comments. Let's go ahead and get one more perlite. Get a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and call that good for now. Let's see what it looks like after we get the peat moss in. I'm going to go ahead and open that real quick. It's about one. Down there. 2. 3. 4. 5 in the mix. This is going to be probably half of your mix of this peat moss. Get that mixed in. And while I'm mixing this, I just want to say peat moss, or not peat moss, seed starting mix is extremely important. And I feel like not enough people talk about it. Which I don't understand why, honestly. This is not super hard to explain or to show, but it is extremely important. I mean, it's the start of your seed's life. You know, if you think about it like that, it's the start of your garden plant. Get some more. Say we did 5. 5. If I can get some more. There's 6. I'm gonna open this bag a little more. Okay. Here's 7. 8. 9. And we'll go one more and then we'll mix. 10. Okay. I think we're gonna need one more perlite. Definitely, we'll get another vermiculite. That'll bring us up to 3. And one more perlite, which would bring us up to, I want to say 3. I'll have to watch the video, find out. I'll put it on the screen how much that brings us up to, unless you were keeping track. Part of the reason I record these videos is so I can go back and look. Just like when I cook, I know I don't really take measurements all that often. I just kind of go with it. Okay. That's looking pretty good. I want to say it looks good. Now I do still need to add the jobs. I'm going to show y'all. You want it to be super light, fluffy, fine. Okay, let's go ahead and get this Job's or bone meal. Okay, I'm not going to be able to measure this like I wanted. Just going to dump some in. You can see that. Not much. Honestly, in this whole thing, I probably used about a cup at most. Get it really mixed in there. Okay. That is our seed mix. I hope y'all enjoyed. Beautiful seed mix. Let me know what y'all think in the videos or in the comments below.